first half, Elvis Witt did catch a ball, they said, on the sideline, so they got it on the 35, and the freshman made a little mistake there. That's almost identical to the play that went NC State's way, but it doesn't go Florida State's way, so they'll start it on their own 5.
Hey, Jack, when you've got Dunn and Warwick, those guys running ahead of you, anytime you get to touch the football and run, you do it.
Danny Kanell with a great first half, just 3 incompletions. 1 was intercepted, 1 was dropped, and 1 was broken up. From his own end zone, Canell with time finds Wayne Messam. He has it out to the 20 for another Florida State first down. The Seminoles' 21st of the ball game. Stephen McKnight on the hit for the Wolfpack.
Got Messam, nice big target. Showed those numbers well. Ran a nice route. Impressive.
Good size with Messam and Cooper. Messam at 6'4" and 210. Cooper at 6'2", 195. This is Warwick Dunn. Good block from E.G. Green. Dunn tripped up by Jason Perry, or he had the sidelines. He has another Florida State first down.
These guys don't need any time to warm up. I mean, whatever happened to coming out and getting the feel for things, man, they come right out and they are blistering. Again, good effort outside by E.J. Green. You got to have wide receivers to block, and if we're not the trip, you still be calling the action.
Dunn again. Skirts outside, slips a tackle. Finally stacked up by Perry again, as well as Kenny Harris. Right at the first down marker, close to another Florida State chain mover.
If you're Wolfpack, this is easier said than done. But Florida State showed you something by tackling the football and going after it. They come away with 3 fumbles as a result of that. Now Wolfpack, they're going to have to start going after that pigskin.
Warwick with the 12-yard plus per carry average today is below his season total of 14.5. Play action against the blitz, and they throw it away. John Rissler with good upfield penetration forced the incompletion as Canell bounced it.
Boy, Harris,
Damian Harrell.
Jack Harris had that figured out. Kenny Harris might have picked this one off. Canell, good presence. He keeps it short. If he throws to the back, Kenny Harris, he was spying on that play.
2nd and 10 for the Seminoles at their own 44 as Canell goes under center. Dunn on the draw play into Wolfpack territory at the 48-yard line, about 2 yards shy of a first down. Ron Milnick and Mike Harrison, among others, on the hit. And it's so deflating from a defensive perspective, the way they just go from that no huddle and line up again. You never seem to catch your breath.
That's great.
Rock Preston stacked up shy of the first down. Good job coming up by number 36, Bobby Cotton. He is a true freshman out of Chatham, Virginia. And Sean Liss will make his first appearance of the afternoon as Florida State is forced to punt the football.
Yeah, can you believe that's a huge victory for NC State?
I want to know how Sean has punted it 11 times already this year. That's surprising.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Well, a tip ball, you know, you can get tip balls, a few miscues, but this offense is impressive.
Off the side of his foot, but it takes a good bounce for the Seminoles. Can they stop it in time? Yes, they do. Inside the 1.
Can't let that happen. You just can't let that happen.
48-yard punt by Sean Liss, and good punt coverage.
Yeah, think to yourself, every chance we get, field position is premium when you play Florida State. First, you want to get up and field that punt, and if not, this is what happens. Good special teams coverage.
Good effort by James D'Amico, the senior out of Coral Springs, Florida, who got a piece of the ball and changed its momentum before it went into the end zone. 99+ away from a score for the Wolfpack. And Brown, did he get out of the end zone? Barely. Isn't that the way it goes, Doc? They stopped Florida State for the first time all day, and as a reward, they get it inside their own 1. James D'Amico, the guy who put him down there, was credited with the tackle.
Hey, Florida State's not number 1 because it's not a good football team. They're loaded with talent. This offense is special. One of the most impressive things I've ever witnessed.
Harvey, play action. Good time. Ball tipped. He had his man. Thomas was open out near the 10-yard line, and Terry mad at himself. I don't know if it was Orpheus Roy or Andre Wadsworth who got a piece of the football. They say Roy was the man who made contact.
Yeah, well, Terry needed to get on his tippy toes on that play. Got to get open. He had him open. Mark Thomas caught that similar pass in the second quarter. Big yardage.
Yeah, that was the play they wanted. Got good protection on the play-action fake, but didn't get the completion. Now it's 3rd and long. Harvey gives it to Brown. He gets it out to the 6, and the Wolfpack will have to punt it away from its own end zone.
Going back to your philosophy, which is a good one. See, if that's the first down play, Jack, now you can run your offense.
Jay Dukes, 35-yarder in the first half, also was run into on his first attempt to keep an early NC State drive alive before the turnover plague got to them. Dee Feaster, not even to midfield, so Florida State will get outstanding field position again. Good kick by Dukes as he turns it over. Feaster at his own 48. Whacked out of bounds at the 44-yard line. That's where Florida State will put it in play with 11:06 to go here in the 3rd quarter. They lead it 42-14.
There's a new gasoline.
What's new about it?
With the power to drive down maintenance costs.
Really? Are you serious?
Yes, we are. New Exxon gasoline keeps your engine cleaner.
Clean is good.
So it can help drive down maintenance costs.
Did gas do that?
New Exxon gasoline can, with the power to drive down maintenance costs.
Gas that can save you money.
For more reliable performance.
Okay, I'll try it.
People stopping by to rely on the Tiger.
Authentic clothing. New cottons, denims, and colors for men and women. Lee Authentic Clothing. This is just the beginning.
Yeah, listen up, mate. If any one of you can hit a bullseye, I'll buy you a steak dinner. Did I say bullseye? I'm in a triple 20. Did I say triple 20?
For a meal that hits the spot every time, get to Outback Steakhouse.
Did I say blindfolded?
A lot of folks in Johnson City, Tennessee will tell you when you need a part for your car, go to AutoZone. The parts are top quality, the prices are low, and the people are helpful. Like Gary Jennings. You see, when it comes to auto parts, folks will tell you Gary really knows his stuff. Oh, sure, they know there are other parts stores in town, but when it comes to getting the right part, the right price, and good advice from folks like Gary, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
Back here in Tallahassee, along with Mike Hogwood and Rick Walker, Jack Corrigan, glad you could join us. An awesome display so far by the Florida State offense. They had their first punt of the ball game on their last possession. They now started at the North Carolina State 44-yard line with Danny Kanell still at the controls. Changing the play at the line of scrimmage out of the two-back set, Canal. Quick slant to Messam. Run out of bounds after a pickup of about 7. Down to the sidelines and Mike Hogwood.
Word from the Florida State benches, Bobby Bowden in the locker room told his first team, as soon as you score,
we're going to start going with a lot of second-teamers. Thad Busby's been warming up at quarterback, and apparently, if the first team can get a touchdown, most of those guys are coming out for the rest of the day.
A warm day here in Tallahassee. Temperature around 90 and about the same with the humidity as Rock Preston slides his way to a first down at the NC State 32.
The red comes up and does exactly what you must do. If you get around him, get a hand on him, got to bring him down.
Wolfpack playing a lot of young secondary people. Perry and Red and Shamsuddin are all freshmen. Kanell going deep for Messam. He's got it, but I think it's going to be offensive pass interference called against Wayne Messam as he shoved off against Shamsuddin in the end zone.
Yeah, good call by the guys in stripes. And we've had a couple of close calls, and it's difficult when you get the 6'2", 6'3" receivers in line. They all, boy, their pitch drill must be something of beauty to watch during practice. Canell gets back, throws the rifle shot. Now watch this. See the left hand? That's two-hand push. You can get away with a one-hand push, but not a two-hand push.
It's a great effort by Messam in the end zone. But Robin Wood indicates
offensive pass interference, 15 yards and repeat first down.
Good camera work, too, man. Our guys are all over that.
Andre Cooper has a couple of scores this afternoon as he's been able to outleap Wolfpack cornerbacks. Wayne Messam wanted to join the parade, but was called for the penalty. Kanell flushed out of the pocket. It's a screen to Pooh Williams. The big boy rambles inside the 30.
Boy, Jason Perry, he gets my vote for just having guts. I don't know if I'm in the secondary and I'm 187 and I know the 22 has the ball if I don't find a blade of grass to slip on. He comes up and lowers it, man. I don't know, Jack, you come up and hit him?
I'd say the path is open. You're welcome to it. Showing blitz. Canell has his offensive line pick it up, fires a strike over the middle for another first down. E.G. Green inside the Wolfpack 15. Kenny Harris on the stop.
They come at you in waves, although NC State has shown more pressure. In this second half, they showed the entire game.
Canell on the quick count. The Wolfpack was not really set, and they pay for it as E.G. Green has the touchdown.
That's just a tribute to great coaching, great preparation. I mean, it's not easy to be in sync and to be this coordinated. This takes hours of practice and film study. I mean, this offensive unit, they make it look easy. This is not easy to do, folks. If so, a lot of other clubs would try it.
Scott Bentley has another conversion, his 7th of the ball game. He is now 20 of 21 on the year. 9:57 to play here in the third quarter. NC State finds itself looking up at a 49-14. This message from your local ACC station.
Simple things like laughing or just playing with your kids aren't so simple if you have a bladder control problem. Dr. Lawrence Hatchett introduces a revolutionary new technology, an innovative outpatient procedure that can cure stress incontinence. If you've been told the only treatment is major surgery, call the Florida Georgia Urological Center today. With this new procedure, you can be back in control of your life within a week.
It has made all the difference in my life.
Call 878-4400 today.
It's the 37th anniversary sale at Law's Furniture Gallery, where $37 a month can buy almost any item in stock. Whether it's something to finish up the bedroom or that nice sofa you wanted for the living room, get it for $37 a month. During the 37th anniversary, get 12 months same as cash plus pay no money down. Action recliners by lane are as low as $37 a month. 37th anniversary values throughout our Bassett Gallery, plus 12 months same as cash at Law's Furniture Gallery, downtown Valdosta.
Show some impressive statistics. Escort has been the best-selling small car 14 years in a row. Also, Ranger has been the best-selling compact pickup the past 8 years running. Now, when you win that big that often, there's some darn good reasons. And you can bet that your local Southern Ford dealer knows a whole bunch of them, too.
Get cash back or low APR on Ford Ranger or Ford Escort only at your local Southern Ford dealer.
Now, that's impressive.
Hello? Hey, Dad. I got 10 minutes and thought I'd give you a call.
Oh, since when did you get 10 minutes to call anybody?
Oh, come on. You know I've always make time for you.
All right, baby. What's on your mind?
I just had to let you know about this great team I've come across.
No kidding? Tell me about them.
Well, they're fast, they're committed, and they're a super bunch of guys.
Sounds just like those fellas at Superloo.
Superloo, service you can trust every 3,000 miles. State up 49-14. Whitted and Holt await the kick of Scott Bentley. Whitted 5 yards deep in the end zone will take a knee, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line. The quick count got just about everybody not set. Look at this. Even got all our people. I mean, this is the beauty of this. I mean, this is not by accident, folks. They planned this. Again, I just commend their staff. Working these kids out, getting them in sync. And the recipient, once again, watch this. Nice extension, catch and hold. E.G. Green back in the end zone. Okay. Cooper with a pair, Green with one, and Warwick Dunn with a pair of touchdown catches from Danny Kanell. Terry Harvey flushed out of the pocket and underthrows Mike Guffey. Danny Canal, 28 of 32, and has been as near perfect as those numbers would indicate. Thad Busby, who will in all likelihood replace Mr. Canell for the rest of the afternoon. Alongside of him. Replace him. I don't want to follow up behind that guy. My goodness. I mean, anything you do, just being normal at that point, you look bad. Of course, Thad figures he wants the time under center because freshman Dan Kinder is waiting behind him. Oh, boy, that young man. I got a chance to meet his family, too, man. Good stock. He is going to do something special. Harvey, the quick hitter. Mark Thomas, the tight end, after the 25-yard line. Good open field stop that time by Harold Battles, the strong safety. Yeah, it's interesting. You look at NC State, and I think we've all been there. Anybody that has ever competed and been in team sports, sometimes you're just down. And what do? Now you're challenged. The film is still on. I mean, a lot of folks still pulling for you. And you got to come out and represent that university and represent your family and play your heart out. Stevens, the lone setback behind Harvey on 3rd and 5. Harvey flushed out of the pocket, and down he goes. Peter Boulware again. Boulware's making some plays. But that's a coverage sack. I mean, Harvey's got to get rid of that football. I mean, you've got to know now with this score, 49-14, that they're bringing people after you. See, you see the play-action fake not going to do much at 49-14. See, when he wants to go, it's not there. You got to chuck it up in the stands. Boulware's second sack of the afternoon and his third of the season. Jay Dukes last time punted from his own end zone. This time he'll get it away inside his 10 as Dee Feaster again waits in single safety. A little bit of pressure that time. Feaster at his own 40. Good coverage by Alvis Whitted to take care of him right there. Great coverage. Here's a look at this week's Burger King Top 10 fan poll, where you, the fan, votes for who's number one. This week's number one team is the team you are watching out on the Doak Campbell Field this afternoon, Florida State. Some of the teams to watch this year, Ohio State playing Washington today, and that Texas A&M team not bad, too. Stop by your local Burger King restaurant to find out how you can cast your vote for number one. Imagine Florida A&M and Florida State on the same field. You couldn't go to intermission. Thad Busby into the ball game at quarterback as he rolls out on first down. And fires it out of bounds. Busby is a redshirt sophomore out of Pace, Florida. Like so many of these Seminole players, he was a high school All-American, a parade All-American.
Better than half this team, at least, out of the first and second team, have some kind of All-American designation out of their high school days.
Prerequisite to jump in their locker room.
Draw play to Dunn. Hiding and scooting and scurrying out close to first down yardage. That was a good angle where you could see Dunn getting the football, and I don't think there's a single defender who can see him behind that big offensive line.
There are advantages to being 5'9", and this is one of them. See, when he bends his knees and squats down, see, he's coming out of the turf, and you can't find him, and then he's going at faster than speed. And the guy is just...
And he's got a 275-pound fullback leading them through the hole.
Now, he's got some big buddies.
3rd and 3. Busby looking downfield, has his man. Damian Harrell.
That was a strike. That was not an easy throw.
It's another Florida State first down. Just under 8 minutes to play here in the third period. It was 7-7 with 6:30 to play in the first quarter. 42-7 Florida State since that point. But the turnovers in that first half really turned the tempo of this game to the guys wearing the garnet and gold.
Yeah, killed the pass.
Little slant crossing pattern. Ron Dugan's the receiver. Alan Johnson, the tackler. Pickup of a couple.
And Jack, I'd kind of like to be in their film study. I'd like to be here on Monday. Not with the defense, but when the offense goes in his side of the room, I'd like to sit in there with those guys.
Not too many things that the coaches can criticize with the way they have moved it up and down the field.
Well, sock placement. You guys didn't pull your socks up high enough, or, maybe your shoes weren't tied tight enough.
Busby trying to avoid the happy feet. Put a little too much on that pass to Rock Preston. That's part of the reason why Busby will continue to throw the ball here in the second half. They have to get him used to operating this fast break offense should Canell have to leave a ball game when it's still up in the air.
Yeah, no, you have to play him. And as he's showing us right now, that Danny just made it look easy. It's not that easy.
3rd and long. You don't have that very often for the Seminoles. Busby flushed out of the pocket, fires a strike to Andre Cooper for another first down. He almost looks better throwing it on the run than he does in the pocket.
Yeah, well, he's a more mobile quarterback. No question about that. And plus, let's face it, folks, this is his first snap in the football game. He's had to stand for a half. His emotional level now, he's due his first quarter jitters.
Tell you what, that's a tired NC State defense out there now. Rock Preston's big hole up the middle closed quickly. Good job by James Walker. Walker seeing his first action of the season. James had fractured an eye socket in preseason and was really limited in what he could do.
Well, he's not timid. That's for sure. I cracked my eye socket. I think I'm standing up here with the coaches charging.
Yeah, well, that was a big-time hit right in the hole. Gain of just a couple for Preston. Play action. Busby to the sideline. Way over the mark intended for Philip Riley. Pretty good coverage on the far side by the freshman, Johnson Dean.
There'll be a lot of folks all across the country. They'll pick up the paper and say, well, Florida State did it again. And they did. I mean, offensively, this has been interesting. But NC State, you just won't know that the fumbles and the miscues have really hurt them, and they're still playing hard.
Khalid Abdullah comes into the ball game, number 32 at fullback for the first time today. Busby trying to convert another third down opportunity behind Messel, and incomplete. Johnson on the coverage for the Wolfpack. And they'll get an opportunity to see how Scott Bentley's field goal leg will do. Bentley 2 of 2 on the season, but has not attempted one longer than 29 yards.
How can he? They score every time they get the football.
A career best of 47. This will be a 42-yard attempt. it, but hooked it left. So Bentley misfires, and NC State will take over on its exchange of possession at its 25-yard line with 5:53 to play here in the third period.
Be interesting to see now what situation, just really what offensive approach NC State takes. I mean, they ran the ball exceptionally well early on. They tend to get away from it now. I'd like to see them get back to just run that ball between the tackles.
Harvey play action on first down, dumps it out in the flat to Guffey. Mike trying to work his way up the sidelines, goes out of bounds after a 6-yard pickup. Troy Saunders leading the attack for the Seminole secondary.
See, to me, if you're going to continue to have ball fakes and play action, you need to stick some runs in there on first down. I mean, Brown and Stephens were very effective running the option. It's another play they've gotten away from.
Tremayne Stephens ran for 106 yards in the first half. He's at the back end of the eye. Harvey tried to keep the option for the first time, and there was no place to go because number 58, Peter Boulware, turned him back inside.
Boulware is one of those guys that's going to get a milkshake next week from his coaching staff because he has really come on. They were hoping that he did. And you watch this. This is not easy to do. You come down, take on lead blocker, and just kind of straddle. He's in space and had the athletic ability to, just kind of jockey his position in there. That was a good play.
Shoved it back inside where Deion Humphrey made the hit for Florida State. The Boulware name sounds familiar. His brother Raleigh played at Georgia Tech here in the ACC.
This is a tennis player at Notre Dame.
3rd and 5. They give it to Stephens trying to get outside. Colsey thought he had him. Stephens with the effort gets the first down. Excellent effort by Tremayne Stephens to keep the Wolfpack drive alive.
So you can't tell the score based on that effort. That's why I like to see him get back to the ground. They got 2 Cadillacs in the backfield, Brown and Stephens. Now you watch this. Good effort out front, but boy, Florida State played that to a T. Just can't coach that. That's an intangible, man, the guy just has inside his heart that he wanted to get that first down.
Orpheus Roy came over to make the tackle, but not before it was a 6-yard pickup and a Wolfpack first down. Harvey looking to the sidelines. Did he get it inbound? No.
No possession.
Alvis Whitted didn't get the foot down in time. The incompletion stops the clock with 4:49 to play here in the third period. They will easily total over 1,000 yards of offense between these two teams this afternoon.
Florida State. Oh, boy. They still got 4:49 to go in the third quarter. Scary.
Well, even the NC State offense will have over 400 yards, close to 500 by the time it's over.
Oh, they've been brutal. But then the tackle, they had the bomb as well.
Julian Pittman shot the gap and got Tremayne Stephens just as he was getting the handoff and really stopped that play before it could get started. Now you see we're at 8:33 and counting.
No, it really is. It's a lot of really highlight reel for both schools. A lot of plays from this game will be on that season ender. Guarantee you that.
Robin Wood, a momentary stop of the clock. Now we've resumed things. I think they had to reset the huddle clock. Third and 8. Option. Harvey again is spoiled. Good halftime adjustment in terms of the option by Florida State. And guess who? Peter Boulware.
Can do it all. Here's a young man, 4:15 on the bench press, was voted the best conditioned athlete of the spring. Here's a guy, you like this. Kind of runs a mile and a half and 9:20. You would run about 8:50. You're an 8:52, 8:53 guy.
I hated running distances. Sprints were fine. I hated the distance.
I think I could get the mile in about, I don't know, 25, 30. How long would it take to drive a mile?
Jay Duke's on the punt for the third time this quarter. Gets another good one driving Feaster back inside his 10-yard line. Looking for some blockers. Feaster to the corner and out to the 23-yard line. 3:16 to play here in the third quarter. Florida State in command.
Having a little trouble finding the right pair of jeans? You'll like the way you look in Lee.
Oh, we'll take it.
The brand that fits.
Great fitting Lee jeans are available now at Belk & Leggett.
Good song. Great song.
Continental Airlines offers daily award-winning service to Frankfurt.
Du siehst aus wie ein hässlicher Affe.
Once you get there, however, it's up to you. Continental Airlines offers daily award-winning service to cities all over Europe. Once you get there, however, it's up to you.
Just hope to be healthy. Decide to be. It's the new wave in healthcare, and we're here to help. We're Tallahassee Memorial.
It's your life, take it, make it all that you can make it. It's your life, live it well.
Back here in Tallahassee, Jack Corrigan along with Rick Walker and Mike Hogwood down on the sidelines. Thad Busby running the show for the second possession here in the third quarter for the Florida State offense. Opportunity to let Thad and some of the other guys get some significant playing time. Reverse to Riley. World-class speed on this guy. Look out. Out to the 37-yard line. Shamsuddin on the stop.
Well, Kyle Blaylock was there. I mean, he really he had a good approach at Lane. He just couldn't make the play. So he's watching. He got too lean on it. And then Thad showed me something. He finished the block on it.
First and 10. They shift into the I formation. And that's Dennis Andrews, the fullback, for a couple over the left side.
Think about Florida State, Jack, makes them so scary. You have 12 athletes who run the 40, and 4 or 5 are under.
Andrews comes hobbling off, so Khalid Abdullah will come back into the lineup. Messam, Green, and Cooper remain the wide receivers. Busby down the middle has E.G. Green, and he is gone. Touchdown. 63 yards. He broke the tackle of Kenny Harris and scores his second of the afternoon.
It takes guts to go across the middle and catch a football. Now, there's every indication here that Mr. Glass will be beamed, but he's bombed, and he pops out for a score. It takes a lot of courage. He showed it. He didn't care. He went and caught that football and joins the rest of his buddies on the scoreboard.
3 receivers, each with a pair of touchdowns this afternoon as Thad Busby gets his second touchdown pass of 1995. And once again, it's that fast break offense. 70 points against Duke, 45 against Clemson, And now 56 here in the home opener with still 2:25 to play in the third quarter. Next week, we'll have more of the rock'em sock'em kind of football action. From Death Valley, the Virginia Cavaliers and the Clemson Tigers, 12 o'clock kickoff for the Exxon ACC Game of the Week. Check your local listings for the station in your area.
There'll be some smash mouth football in that game.
Florida State is just about at their per-game scoring average. Came in averaging 58 points a ball game. And they have scored at least twice in every period.
Just imagine when they get a few of the defensive people healthy. Look at those numbers, Jack.
Yeah, that was that amazing fourth quarter comeback against the Florida Gators for the remarkable tie, right? The winning tie against the Gators.
Yeah, that was a winning tie.
Whitted fields the kickoff and has some blockers in front of him. But a great effort, a flag at the end of the play. Great effort by Jermaine Green to slice right through the blockers and drop Whitted.
Love good special teams play. That's just desire and a lot of speed. Guy with not a lot of size in that, man, but he knifes in there and makes the highlights.
Illegal block in the back, 10 yards, first and 10 from the 10.
Well, NC State is making it tougher and tougher.
They've had no field position here in the second half to compound their problems. Jose Laureano will come in to play quarterback now for the Wolfpack. Redshirt freshman out of Orlando. Has played a little bit, played in the game against Marshall.
Now he wants to do good.
Well, his older brother, that's right. Juan is on the sidelines at Florida State. He's one of the offensive tackles. First pass is knocked down by Reinhard Wilson. Hello and welcome back to Florida.
Well, you know, when you give the Seminoles some points, Reinhard, 11 sacks, #1 in the ACC a year ago. Now they're coming at you. They're really doing that good. Yeah, but they really control the line of scrimmage on this one. And then the good athletes, they get off the ground, leave the feet, get the hands up.
To the tailback, that's Cordell Smith, and Julian Pittman grabs him right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and long.
Now, a lot of these offensive players for the Seminoles, Jack, they're going to have to find somewhere to put some of those little tomahawks. They won't have helmet space if they keep it up this pace. They'll be sewing them on their jerseys.
Well, they're also going to add the tomahawk decals, little salutations, if you will, for academic achievements as well with the football team this year, which I think is a good idea.
That's great. That's great. Well, again, they're going to have to start throwing them on the jerseys.
And Oriano in trouble and got it off. Mike Guffey was in the neighborhood as Kanell Spain had a hold of the ankle of Jose Laureano to force the incompletion.
Spain's another one of those athletes they were waiting on something to happen from. Along with Spires, and he's there. See, the guy's on his back, and he's grabbing, trying to pull the quarterback down. I just love that effort. Love it.
Jay Dukes had a 52-yarder on his last effort. Second time in the quarter that he's punting from his end zone. To making the block, and a flag has gone down. Another good kick by Dukes. That will be a running into the kicker penalty.
That was an Oscar performance, and he got the trophy. Here we watch it. It's tough. Hey, Jack, you got your foot. You're not in a good position to defend yourself, so you've got to protect these guys.
There was some contact on the plant foot.
Yep. It was also some great action.
Backyard penalty. Running into the kick is the staff.
They declined the penalty because it would not have given them a first down. And the punt ended up being a dandy with the roll. It went inside the Florida State 30-yard line back at the 29. That ends up being a 51-yard punt. So a 52 and a 51-yard effort the last two times that Dukes has punted the ball away. And when you consider he's a true freshman, that is a positive that the Wolfpack can take out of this game.
Yeah, Wolfpack got some young ball players. They found a lot out about this team against Virginia a week ago. It's not really fair to compare them going against Florida State from a defensive and offensive standpoint, but they'll never know now because they dropped the ball too much today.
Feaster into the ball game, and wow, did he get popped by Bobby Cotton. Perfect timing on the blitz. Feaster never had a chance.
Boy, that is nice. Where's that in the first half? See, that's some of the anticipation, some of the blitzing we thought we'd see.
Khalid Abdullah was supposed to block that guy, and he was already by him. He said, where is he? I got him.
Warwick Dunn, Rock Crescent, listening over there thinking, man, I'm glad I'm not in.
Busby fights off the pressure and finds his man. Cooper, first down, Florida State. Give Thad Busby credit for standing tall in the pocket because he was feeling some heat.
215-pounder, really. I mean, people hanging on to his ankles. He stayed focused, worked the ball downfield. Another one of those Gatorade Players of the Year. All-American again, out of Pace, Florida. It just continues for the Seminoles.
Final 30 seconds of the third period. Busby looking downfield, goes underneath and finds a man again. That's Dugans. And Dugans is down for another first down inside the 35-yard line. Kid Carpenter on the stop.
That has no problem pushing that ball downfield, Jack. And we knew he was mobile. But, I mean, this kid has a rifle.
They'll let the final seconds tick off, and we'll head into the fourth quarter with the #1 ranked team in the country dominating play again here in their home opener at Doak Campbell. 15 minutes of football yet to play. Bobby Bowden Seminoles on top, 56-14.
Hi, Daddy.
What?
I've got a chance to take French in summer school.
Well, that's wonderful.
In Paris.
France?
First Union introduces the reality check, the loan that can turn dreams
Yes, I'm still here.
into reality.
One more time, big guy.
Because not every kid who deserves a scholarship to college gets one. First Union introduces the reality check, the hassle-free loan that can help make realities out of dreams.
My customers like to shop in my store because I know money is very important to people.
I have a lot of customers now watching the prices to see if we actually are the low price leader.
And they want a good value.
And I'm pretty sure that they go to our competitors and check it out. We do have the lowest prices. They check the beans, they check the cereals.
They trust me to give them good value.
They do come through my line and say that we are, you know, basically the low price leaders.
We're not going to be beat on prices. We're going to have the lowest prices.
So the Nittany Lions of the Fighting Irish have given us another great college football game. And here are two tired generals looking for each other at midfield.
Tough break, Joe. Yeah, I know. The tie's too much. It's nice, but maybe next time something in a crew neck. Don't you think that'd be too casual?
Collect a Burger King Legends of College Football Cup. Free when you upsize your Whopper value meal for just 39 cents.
Look, Joe, it's not the end of the world. Next cup, think pastels.
If the world's most passionate drivers got together to create the perfect car, you discover there's no such thing as the perfect car. There are 8 of them. The extraordinary BMW 3 Series. For a world of passionate drivers, the perfect car. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Starting at $19,900.
Chief Osceola, top renegade. He's had lots to cheer about here this afternoon. Thad Busby on first down. Eludes a tackle. On the run. What a pop as Busby moved upfield. The Lee Apparel third quarter stats as these two teams nearing 1,000 yards of offense on the afternoon.
Rushing yardage for State, very impressive. For North Carolina State, for Florida State, the passing, again, just deadening.
Brad Collins pursuing Thad Busby really got popped.
That shows some guts, though. Good slide.
Shamsuddin got just enough of that ball to deflect it away from Philip Riley. It'll make it third down in short yardage.
What do you think Bobby's thinking about right now?
Bobby's thinking about, I got to get my defense a little tighter by the time October 7th rolls around when they play the Miami Hurricanes here in Tallahassee.
I think he's thinking ahead a bit as well.
Showing blitz. Busby hit as he threw it. It's up for grabs, and it's pulled down. Shamsuddin fighting Philip Riley, and it's Riley who makes the play.
You know, a lot of this it can be attributed to their off-season training program. They really stress the vertical jump here at Florida State. And not once, not twice, but 3 times we've seen their guys go up and take the ball away from the other guy. And that's not by accident.
The other thing that they have done as well, like a good rebounder in basketball, they use their body to block off the defender. Fullback straight ahead for short yardage. That's Khalid Abdullah, knocked down by Morocco Brown. There's a less than happy sight as a couple of Florida State guys go off on the medical cart.
That's been the only negative part for Florida State, with the exception of the defensive line early on. They've now kind of corrected that problem.
And it's George Williams hobbling off, the big defensive tackle, the sophomore out of Lakewood, North Carolina. Looks like he did something to his left leg.
Yeah, so NC State's got to start thinking ahead to next week, you know, and get back in the winning ways and start to compete for a bowl picture.
Down to the sidelines, Mike Hogwood with an injury update.
That was Dennis Andrews, who you saw just going up on the cart a moment ago, Florida State. He sprained his knee and sprained his ankle. And as Doc said, that's really about the only thing that's been negative for Florida State today.
Hard to find negatives when it's 56-14, and you're a couple of yards away from adding to that advantage. Wolfpack shows blitz. Pressure on Busby. Throws it into the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Damian Harrell. Brandon Davis on the coverage. 3rd and goal for the Seminoles at their 4-yard line.
Just by the nature of their offense, again, this is not pouring it on, it's not doing anything, but running their offense, you know, and trying to get better and giving some of these other kids a chance to play so they can earn their stripes.
Busby changing the play. 5 on the huddle clock. Gets it off in time. Little fade route for Cooper. Touchdown. 3rd of the afternoon for Andre Cooper.
I got to give him some points, some style points for after the catch. He made sure he didn't celebrate, but he was smooth. I kind of like that. Andre, you pulled it off, pal. I mean, it takes some talent not to pick up a flag now after a big play, and he aced it.
Bentley's conversion, his 9th of the afternoon, makes it 63-14. Florida State with another pretty touchdown play.
Here in the Outback, you can't take anything for granted.
You did remember how I love onions, didn't you?
Even a simple meal can be an adventure.
It's a thing. I got the bloomin' onion.
At Outback Steakhouse, you get all the mood of the Outback with none of the inconvenience.
Roger. Dessert?
Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
The competitive environment of high-performance racing demands reliability. That's why the International Motorsports Association asked Exxon to formulate their official racing fuel. They knew that Exxon would create a high-performance fuel that exceeds the demands of grueling race conditions. And that same reliable performance can be found every time you fill up with Exxon 93 Supreme. Exxon, rely on the Tiger.
The more opportunity I have to take off at different times, the better it fits in my schedule.
Frequency, availability of flights.
Well, frequency, of course, is important.
Frequency, yeah.
It's important to have many flights.
I need to get to meetings on time. I usually travel early in the morning, try to get back home for dinner time.
Continental, your choice of flights all day long to the cities you want to go to at the price you want to pay.
You just call up, you get on the flight, and you go.
The world seems here again. I can't believe my eyes.
For a limited time at Hatcher Opticians, when you buy one pair of prescription glasses, you can choose from a special selection of frames for another prescription pair free. Choose sunglasses or a handy spare. Don't miss the buy one, get one free offer from Hatcher Opticians.
Treat me just like family. At Hatcher's Opticians, we are coming home.
Well, after years of Tamarick Vanover, Kevin Knox, Kez McCorvey, who is going to take the spot of those guys? How about Andre Cooper? Great day today. He already has 6 touchdowns on the season in just the 3rd game for the Seminoles. And you have to like the way he goes after the football.
Like the way all of them go after the football. I mean, what's the difference? Green, Wayne, Riley, these guys they're in a class all by themselves.
NC State will start it on their own 20-yard line. There's Dan Kendra. You want to talk about a guy who might not look like a quarterback. We'll try and get another shot later on. You ought to see this young man from the waist down. He's got legs like an offensive lineman. But they are saying here in Tallahassee he could be very special before he finishes his Seminole days. Going to have to go some to top the efforts of Danny Kanell so far here in 95.
A different style of quarterback. This kid has the temperament of a linebacker, the skills of a back quarterback.
Uh-oh. Another fumble, another turnover as the Florida State defense does its thing again. Canell Spain with the recovery. Fumbles on the afternoon for NC State.
And this is the thing that I'm sure Coach O'Kane and his staff, I mean, they're upset about it. And to a point, you get embarrassed about it.
Now, Julian Pittman was on top of Jose Laureano before he could even get the handoff to Cordell Smith. Forced the fumble. You can see how the turnovers, and especially early in the ball game when NC State was running very effectively but kept turning the ball over.
It's not like they were sacked for losses. They're picking up 10, 15 yards and then give up the football.
Busby gives it to the fullback who kind of plunges his way forward. That's Lamar Glenn getting his first action of the day. Florida State next week will play here at home against Central Florida as UCF is a Division I-A school for the first time in its history. Florida State trying to play all the state schools, which they're doing. They've got Miami and, of course, the game at the end of the year with the Florida Gators on the schedule as well. Busby gives it to Glenn again, and he is stacked up on the line of scrimmage by the Wolfpack. Bobby Cotton, the freshman, looking pretty good here in his action.
Yeah, this is Bobby Bowden. Now he's calling off the dog. For that 2 runs, 3 runs.
Now, there was some sensitivity here in Tallahassee after Fred Goldsmith accused Florida State of running up the score in the 70-26 triumph in the first week of the season. But as we have discussed here this afternoon, it's difficult to slow down this offense no matter who's in there. Look at this. Feaster, touchdown.
Yeah. And see, that's no one's fault. Nobody touched him.
D. Feaster gets his first collegiate touchdown. He's another one of those players of the year out of Rock Hill, South Carolina.
Again, I always like to say this. If it were flagged, could they get him? No. He still scored. That's not running it up. That's just being better than your opponent.
For the second time in 3 games, Florida State puts a 70 marker up on the board. 11:45 to play in this one. Bobby Bowden, unbelievable.
The Advance Auto Parts Emergency Roadside Assistance Program. If any Autocraft Silver Plus battery or premium lifetime warranty alternator or starter should fail within 2 years of purchase, call us. We'll send and pay for a jump or a tow anytime, anywhere in the U.S. and Canada. Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
Where have you been?
I was out, okay?
It's 4 in the morning. I was about to call the police.
Just leave me alone. I'll do what I want.
You're 16. You can't keep staying out all night.
I said leave me alone.
Are you getting into drugs? David, answer me.
I'm going to bed.
David, I just want to help you. David!
If your troubled teenager seems beyond your reach, call 1-800-247-2747 today for a free consultation. A caring professional is just a phone call away.
It's morning and it is time for breakfast. You have $1.99. What are you going to do?
4 Rise and Shine combos from Hardee's. Choose a made-from-scratch sausage biscuit, ultimate omelet biscuit, biscuit and gravy, or bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. We'll give you hash browns and your choice of coffee, orange juice, or a soft drink. 4 combos, $1.99 each, only from Hardee's.
Answer me, Private. Hardy. All right. Fresh from the kitchen at Hardee's.
What's up, Rock Hill? D. Feaster with his first collegiate touchdown out of Northwestern High School in Rock Hill, South Carolina. The South Carolina Gatorade Player of the Year last year.
Another one.
Kickoff to Whitted at his own 7. Finding a crease and getting it out over the 30 to the 32-yard line where Troy Saunders knocked him down. Well, they call it their fast break offense. I've seen on a number of the T-shirts that you see in abundance here at Doak Campbell, they call it Florida State beat the clock. Well, right now they're beating the clock, scoring better than a point a minute in the 95 season, averaging 62 points a ball game.
One of those things you don't really believe it until you see it for yourself.
I had some people ask me that this week, Doc, about the Florida State team and how strong was it, and I said, well, it certainly looks great on the tape I had watched, but wanted to see it in person. It's more impressive in person.
Oh, it really is. I mean, that was my same thing. You know, you watch the highlights, you watch some game footage, but you don't really get a feel for the kind of pressure that they put you into defensively simply by spreading the field and always with the option to hand the ball off to not one but 2 great running backs.
Elsewhere in college football this afternoon, Virginia with a 2-touchdown lead at halftime. Virginia looming as the maybe top challenger to Florida State in the conference. Kentucky trying to win in Bloomington. And Arkansas hanging tough against Alabama in the 3rd period down in Tuscaloosa. Penn State making sure there was no scare in week 2 after the last-second win over Texas Tech a week ago. Florida State had to take a timeout. They didn't have all the personnel they needed out on the field. That's when you know the day's over. They start clipping the tape off of you. Laureano and Smith, same play as a moment ago. Mishandled the handoff, and it fell into the hands of Kanell Spain. And then Spain hurt himself.
You got to be kidding me. Boy, they don't need that. I mean, let's hope that Spain can get up, because, I mean, they have just, when you look at Darrell Bush, again, his injury, Todd Rebo not healthy. Let's see what happens. Great penetration. See, that is there. I mean, the handoff looks good.
At that point, Canell Spain looks okay as he got up, and then he fell back down to the ground. It has been a very warm day here in Tallahassee, warm and humid. It was 89 degrees under almost mostly cloudy skies at their 12 o'clock kickoff, and a lot of the clouds have dissipated, making it just that much warmer down on the surface of Doak Campbell. We knew it was hot when Mike Hogwood took his jacket off.
Yeah, but the players had helmets and pads on. The Hog, he takes his jacket off. I mean, I can't believe, here's a guy who's a tough guy, you know, and he got his jacket off. I really, it hurt me to see Hog without his coat on.
Look at the records of the rest of the conference since Florida State has joined the league. Clemson and UVA and North Carolina State and UNC all playing well. And, of course, the Duke numbers skewed a little bit under 500 in the pre-Fred Goldsmith influence. Dee Feaster scored on his last handoff, trying to do it again. Still on his feet to the 12-yard line. Of the crowd of nearly 73,000 who are still on hand, and they're mostly the ones sitting in the shade, enjoy that one.
Just remarkable balance. I mean, if you blink, you think, is that done? Is it Preston? I mean, there's a lot of the same things. See, he could have gone down twice now. Change of field, still conscious of the football, maintains the balance. Oh, boy, boy, boy.
Warwick Dunn 5'9", 178. Brock Preston 5'9", 183. Dee Feaster going for the end zone is 5'9", 175. You talk about great teams reloading rather than rebuilding. They do it literally here, because in the reload, it's like the same guy.
It really is. I mean, it's a bazooka, and they just put in more ammunition.
And you can take that in terms of the wide receivers as well. They lose the guys I talked about over the last couple of years, and they plug in Messam and Cooper and E.G. Green and the rest of them and keep on rolling.
If they can get that fortunate on their defensive line, they haven't done.
Busby to Feaster, and he is stacked up. Right now, Florida State is a touchdown and an extra point from setting a new single-game scoring mark. The school record is 76, and because of the turnovers deep in their own territory, the last two possessions by NC State, Florida State has the chance to set the new mark.
It's one of those games, I guarantee you, Mike O'Kane, they may not even watch this film. This is one that if you get out of here, you just try to forget it.
Flip to Feaster. Can he make it to the corner? He sure can. The touchdown by Dee Feaster is second, ties the school record. If this was softball, the 10-run rule would have been invoked long ago.
Oh, boy.
Bentley on for his 11th extra point try, and that's a new Florida State record. And there is still 10 minutes of football yet to play here in the fourth quarter.
That's the part that's scary.
And again, when you look at the numbers tomorrow, and people elsewhere around the country will really denigrate NC State, and that doesn't tell a lot of the story of this game.
No, it doesn't.
Mike O'Kane, talking to Mike Hogwood right at the start of the second half, said that, you know, had it not been for the turnovers, if it was 28-21 or 28-all, it might have been a different situation in the second half. Instead, it was 42-14. A score midway through the third quarter put it away, and since that point, it's been really a deflated NC State team, struggling against the young guys for Florida State, getting the opportunity to shine.
Hey, that sign might very well hold true. Done for Heisman. I don't blame Warwick. I'd sit over there next to him, too, and say, hey, young man, slow down a little bit. I asked Bobby, put me back in the game, coach.
It's a done deal. I like that one.
Well, I'll tell you what. Their defense, they start getting turnovers and continuing like they did today, stripping the ball, but play a little bit better in the front seven. They'll put 100 points on the board. They catch you off balance. They catch somebody, they may hit the bullseye.
They have punted once this afternoon and turned it over once. With it again with the seam out to the 32-yard line. Down to the sidelines, and the coatless Mike Hogwood.
Yes, I have one rule on that. 95 degrees and 95% humidity. The coat is gone.
Oh, come on, Hall.
It's both of those here today. Kanell Spain, by the way, has a neck burner. They don't want to take another chance on him. He's okay on the booth. And I'm looking upstairs at you guys, and I see that, yes, indeed, in the shade, you guys have even lost the coats up here on a day like today.
What a surprise, huh? Well, this time, Laureano and Cordell Smith get the handoff, but only short yardage on the play. Jason Brock getting some playing time for Kanell Spain makes the stop. What makes Florida State's offense so incredible, they had 13 possessions so far in the game, and they have scored on 11 of them. Good running room this time, and up the sidelines, up near midfield, a first down run by Kevin Matier.
Well, NC State has not had a problem running the football. They just had a problem holding on to the football.
First and 10 for the Wolfpack. First down since Laureano took over. Short yardage on the play straight ahead. And that's Butler at the bottom of the pile, who got a couple of yards.
You know, Jack, Mickey Andrews and the rest of the Seminole staff, defensive staff, at halftime, they made an adjustment, and they really changed the tide and stopped that option. That option gave them problems in the first half, and they went in, got on that blackboard, and they turned things around.
Second and long. Matier on the draw play. Straight up the middle. Fumbles the football. Who got the grab on it at the bottom of the pile? We'll wait and see, and there's probably still a little more tugging going on. And NC State was able to come back and get the ball. Either Matier, that ended up being number 56, Lamont McCauley, who keeps the ball alive for the Wolfpack.
Well, if you're on the NC State campus next week, folks, and you see guys walking around with a stack of books and balls under their arm, you'll know why. I have every back on this team walking around hugging the football all week.
All the turnovers have been fumbles this afternoon for NC State. That's the first one they didn't lose. Matier again. Drive blocking behind big number 78. Terrence Boykin. Stop made by Lamont Green. But it's a gain of about 7.5. There's Warwick Dunn. Just another simple day. Couple of touchdown catches. Touchdown run. About 10 yards of carry.
No cramps, no nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was surprised he had a little bit of sweat showing. Oh, stacked up is Butler.
Hey, look at this guy. This is calm.
Greg Spires was the man who stuck Butler. Watch Spires hit on Butler.
See, the Seminoles give you flashes. They give you flashes of greatness.
Give Julian Pittman credit as well. He was the guy at the bottom of the high-low on Butler. 3rd and short. Draw play, Mateer. Does he get first down yardage? It depends on where they spot the bounce. I think he's going to be a little bit shy. NC State has been able to run the ball, but the problem has been hanging on to the ball.
Yeah, good storyline on this game.
Well, it'll be what the Wolfpack coaches will have to try and build on, the idea that if we take care of our end of the business, we're going to be a pretty good football team.
Oh, yeah, and they are. They are.
Wrong personnel forces Florida State to take another timeout, their second of the second half, with 6:12 remaining.
You know, Jack, the worst thing Florida State could do is look at the score and say, hey, man, we dominated them. Yeah, you played well offensively, but defensively early on, when this game was still anybody's game, NC State was not stopped on the ground. They just gave up the rock.
For NC State, a couple of home games and then 2 tough road games with a bye week in between. They'll go down to Alabama first weekend of October and then face Duke just down the road in Durham. And then another off week before Maryland. For Florida State, Central Florida in a game that won't be much of one next week, and then a week to prepare for Miami, and then a week to prepare for Georgia Tech, and then nearly 2 weeks to prepare for Virginia. I mean, the schedule set very favorably for Florida State. Got to credit the athletic department with some good date maneuvering, huh?
Oh, boy. That's good work.
The Seminoles have yet to taste defeat in conference play. And as Bobby Bowden says, ever since he's joined the conference, he thinks it's made them a better team because it creates a goal within a goal.
Yeah, it's a sense of urgency week in and week out.
Laureano trying to sneak for the first down. It'll depend on the spot.
Same thing happened in the Big East with Miami till West Virginia beat them.
Well, Bobby says you can't be national champs unless you're conference champs.
That's true. I think coaches like it because, again, it gives them a built-in incentive. You don't have to be as much of a motivator. Coach O'Kane now looking, saying, hey, did we get a break?
They say that Jose Laureano got enough for the first down, keeps the ball in the possession of NC State with under 6 minutes to play. Option, Mateer. Got a good block downfield by one of the wide receivers, Omar Dixon. Sam Coward on the stop. Sam Coward, starting linebacker, he's got to keep playing because they just don't have that many linebackers because of the injuries. There you got a glimpse at Juan Laureano, Jose's older brother, who is one of the tackles, co-starter at left tackle for the offense of Florida State, watching his baby brother out there on the field direct the opposition. Little trap play inside and not any room at all as Greg Spires keeps Butler from gaining any forward progress.
Spires has made some plays. Again, he was one of the guys on the bubble. They wanted to see him play well, think very highly of him. And I don't think he disappointed his people today.
Sets up a 3rd and short.
I like Coward. You know, he's been on special team. Here's a guy who gets the opening kickoff. He's down and makes the tackle. And that says a lot about a young man in his leadership.
Laureano to throw. pressured by Wilson, fumbles the football, picks it up, and goes down.
Well, he had a good idea. No sense in faking the throw. Throw it. Just get it out. Throw it up here to me.
The veteran Reinhard Wilson with another sack.
Yeah, man, this is what you love as a defensive guy. This is a chance now to come in and pad some stats. See, the fake? No, let it go.
Jumped right over the block attempt of Jason McGeorge and stayed on his feet to make the sack.
Bernard Wilson's one of those young men who has a great future ahead of him.
Mark Tremonti to try a 45-yard field goal, 31, his longest on the year. It's got the aim and the distance. Mark Tremonti, the redshirt junior, a walk-on to the NC State program, gets his third field goal of the season, 77-17.
I'm so proud of my grandson. He just did a raging 100-foot vertical.
Oh, that's nothing. My Daniel caught some wicked air.
That's bogus. My Billy ripped a whitewater freefall.
Well, my Thomas does the do.
Oh!
Nothing's more intense than slamming Mountain Dew.
You must be very proud.
Introducing Lee Authentic Clothing. New cottons, denims, and colors for men and women. Lee Authentic Clothing. This is just the beginning.
There's a new gasoline
What's new about it?
with the power to drive down maintenance costs.
Really? Are you serious?
Yes, we are. New Exxon 93 Supreme keeps your engine cleaner,
Clean is good.
so it can help drive down maintenance costs.
Did gas do that?
New Exxon 93 Supreme can, with the power to drive down maintenance costs
Gas that can save you money.
for more reliable performance.
Okay, I'll try it.
People stopping by to rely on the Tiger.
If the world's most passionate drivers got together to create the perfect car, you discover there's no such thing as the perfect car. There are 8 of them. The extraordinary BMW 3 Series. For a world of passionate drivers, the perfect car. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Starting at $19,900.
ACC football is brought to you in part by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. The Seminoles have been the ultimate scoring machine here this afternoon, 77-17, as Mark Tremonti's field goal gets the first points of the second half for the Wolfpack. Chris Hensler will kick it off. No, that's Bryant Smith who has now come in to kick. To the 26-yard line goes Hank Grant. Our Carolina Chrysler Plymouth players of the game are Tremayne Stephens for NC State with a 100-yard day against Florida State for the second straight year, and Danny Kanell, a near perfect afternoon for the senior quarterback for Florida State. Our congratulations to both those young men. Busby has done a good job of putting points on the board himself. And now another quarterback change as the football goes straight ahead to Khalid Abdullah. I think they said James Smith. Jamie Pruitt is in the ball game. Walk-on quarterback, as we told you. Dan Kendra is a guy they want a red shirt. So he is not playing, and Pruitt, who's not on the flip cards, gets a chance for some playing time in the final 3 minutes of action.
Tells you a lot when your backup gets to come out of the game.
Abdullah again straight ahead. The freshman who was born in Trinidad. Brad Collins on the stop for NC State.
Abdullah looks a little winded.
A 220-pounder who has been battling some injuries in preseason himself, probably playing a lot more in the heat than he's used to.
Gotta get used to it at Florida State.
He gets the call again. Stacked up that time. That was Mark Castaldi, I believe. Shelton Key leading the way. Florida State came in averaging over 600 yards a game in total offense, and they're 100 yards above that today. I told you we'd get over 1,000, Doc. Pruitt on the naked boot gets it into NC State territory for another first down. Jason Perry ran him out of bounds. 1:38 to go in this one. The run out of tape with this one. Now, that was Lamar Glenn who came in for Abdullah, and he's getting a few carries. Been tough for the stat guys today. There's all those names to put on the board besides all the numbers.
Now, it's a challenge. You work Florida State. You better bring a backup pen and pencil set.
A minute to go. Running it straight ahead with the fullback, Lamar Glenn, close to first down yardage. Aaron Harper on the stop. They'll have to make one more snap.
Well, that was my first shot at bird's eye view of Florida State, and they're everything and more that folks said they would be, and it's awful impressive for that man, Bobby Bach.
Fullback slipped and fell, and if he is shy of the first down, that'll be the last play of the game. Now both sides start coming out onto the field, and that will do it. An impressive ball game for Bobby Bowden's Florida State Seminoles, taking advantage of every mistake that Michael Kane's team made. They roll with a school record 77-17 triumph.